Um, so this is it. Um, Sitting on a chair, breathing, feelings, thoughts. Um, immediately as what's happening, and utterly, completely unknowable, uncatchable, unhold onable to, and yet wonderfully includes the want to hold on to certain things and to push away other things. Amazingly, the childhood wonder that is yearned for is this, as yearning for childhood wonder. It's this. And that's, you can call it childhood wonder, emptiness, total innocence, but it won't be known as that. It's the hearing of a voice that appears to be using words, saying it won't be known as that. So this is total childhood wonder, childlike wonder, full to the brim with the hearing of what's been, of a voice, let's just say, or full to the brim with hearing. And in actual fact, really, nothing is being said. And that's not a kind of an ambiguous way to talk. It's as words, not what's being said. It's so immediately pulsating, pumping, whacking you on the face, cradling every want, thought, feeling, cradling as that. So it's as what is appearing. And it can't. So then this appears like it's a description, but this is really emptiness talking, and nothing is being said. And there really is just nothing being described. It feels like, right, it might feel like, if there's somebody in here who knows that this is a world and knows what's happening, it may feel like there's a description appearing, but it's not. That would make it then possible to be once removed, so it could be known. It can't be known. It appears as this, as hearing. So you could say, and I don't like saying this, but you could say it's almost like two realities. One reality where the world is full of knowings. I know what life is. I know my name. I know what I'm looking for, or I'm not even sure what I'm looking for, but I'm looking, or whatever. And the other is kind of totally unknowable, because it's so fully as what's appearing and what's talking and what's will be listening. It's just so utterly unknowable. And really, that's where we're going to come together and have a conversation. But in actual fact, all that is known, all that is known, and all that is a part, and that, you know, could be known, might be known, is elsewhere. There's nothing known here. And so then this innocence or emptiness or nothing is just so immediately what it is, that the stories can die, can collapse, and all that's left is sitting on a chair, breathing, and whatever then can unfold. And that's not a denial of anything, that's not a refusal of anything. In actual fact, it's unconditional as everything. And this is nobody's. There's no authority on nothing. Really nothing. Not a mystical nothing, not a quirky nothing, nothing. And that can't be known, because it's full to the brim with thinking about knowing. It's full to the brim with the wondering about knowing. It's full to the brim with the hearing of. Yeah, that's what that's kind of the premise for this conversation or this sharing, and it's really, that's what it is. It's the kind of a sharing, and it's free to be then exactly how it appears to be being. And so then, you know, if there's a sense that there might be a question, then it's there to be asked. If there's a comment to be made, then it's there to be made. And that's what this is about. So if you haven't been here, then just click the unmute button and go for it. And if you prefer just to put a comment in, then, you know, just write it and whatever, but just go for it. And in the same breath, there doesn't need to be any questions whatsoever. So let's see what happens.
Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Frank, no one can teach nothing.
No.
No one can teach nothing.
There is no one. Yeah. There's nothing to be taught. How could you teach someone to sit on a chair and breathing and think and feel and yearn or rest? How can you teach anything? It's total duality. It's totally an idea coming from something that knows and that can impart something on somebody who apparently doesn't know, and they can teach. Go on. I mean, good luck with it. Good luck with it, you know. But no way. It's heavy then. Yeah. To know, I know the world and I know what to teach and I know what's needed. Right. Good luck with that then.
Yeah. It's as though one's come here to learn nothing. And nothing can be taught.
Well, worse. Nobody's coming here. You could tell a story, and obviously you have to keep the story to a certain length, but that story about this could go on and on and on and on and on and on. And you could talk about, you could go on to grandparents if you wanted to tell it completely, but you could tell the top line, and really it's totally inexplicable. And no story will do, no words will do, no explanation will do. Nobody came here. Unbelievable.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't require belief or not belief, like, because that would be what it is then. I don't believe this. Okay, but that would be what it is.
Yeah.
How do you do that? I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. No one's going to go away from here with anything.
Well, you see, there is no one, and nothing can be held onto, and nothing can be, you know, really there is no one that can hold on to anything, but there can be heldness. So it's like, you know, kind of a clever idea or an insight or whatever seems to be, that can be, oh, am I getting it? But it's immediately as, am I getting it? It's immediately as that then. as everything. And so that's where do you mean to tell me all my dickhead character traits is what, that's how it is. And maybe not wanting them to be there or wanting them to be there or whatever. It says everything, and it's totally unknowable, inexplicable, everything.
And that's why it's freedom.
Yeah.
Was it everything? It's everything.
It's the freedom for beyond the idea and constraint or an image of freedom. So there's no one to whom it's free for. Nobody gains. It's just how it appears then to be. Can feel constrained. Awful to say that that's freedom as constraint, but that's how it is. And yeah. And the tremendous relief for no one that nothing needs to be held on to, that it's not about an insight or knowing something or understanding. It's none of those, it's none of that. And yet it's still the attempt at that. It's just, it's so full. But yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've been contemplating about two terms today, FOMO and JOMO, the fear of missing out and the joy of missing out. And JOMO is the new me. Yeah, very good. Yes. Yeah. This will be the one. This will be the meeting. No, it'll be the next meeting. Just, for nothing. Yes, it's constantly presenting.
But there is also joy of missing out because I'm not in the beach. I'm here.
You say that again?
Like it's also joy of missing out that I'm here and I'm not in the beach. That I could be beach.
In the beach. What's at the beach?
Beach, yes.
All right. You could be at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it warm there?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
30 degrees.
Oh, lovely. Are there people out there? Well, depends. I don't know if you're looking out a window. There's people out there, bodies called humans. or energy as that. Without the story, there's immediately at the at the beach. Oh, very good. Without the story, there's just immediately what is. And so however that is, whatever reaction to that is, it says everything, fully as everything.
But nothing can be said about it, or everything can be said about it.
Well, it is as saying what was said there. So then it's full to the brim, or it's as full to the brim with this here, what's being said here. But in actual fact, it's as the talking, and it's totally and utterly inexplicable, because it's so immediately as talking, it appears like, okay, well then that's once removed, that's talking about something. So it's almost an aberration then to appear to talk about this. But there's just a description, what's called a description appearing. And so it's immediately as this then. And so then what can be said about that? Well, what can be said about that is whatever appears to be being said. But this is nothing talking, and that's nothing asking a question. So that's just words, descriptions, and it doesn't even get close to anything. It's a kind of just a vump response. It's not even an answer, So it's not a description of something, because it's immediately as whatever is happening, whatever is thought, whatever is felt, and there's nothing apart, So it's inexplicable is inexplicable. So nothing can be said, or there are blabber, 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 total silence, or blabber, blabber. But it doesn't get close nor further away, because it's as that, as everything. You see, what's kind of stunning is, say, that's laughter happening. And like, you couldn't do laughter or not do laughter. And not, it's just what's happening. And then it's, oh, I feel like I was laughing. And that's supposed to make that emptiness as laughter be noble. That's the kind of movement. But it's totally and utterly unknowable. And unknowable is unknowable.
Hey, Frank.
Hey.
Hey, just a question. Would you say it's unknowable because it's so, whatever it is, or whatever is so immediate and, as you would say, full to the brim. It's so immediate and so complete that any knowing would take away from it, or would be a filter or a veil or something.
Well, nothing takes away from anything. So what was described there and the question appearing feels like, you know, that curiosity or that arising question is known as well, perhaps, I don't know, as well. I have a question and I'm going to ask it. You know, that can be a description or it might be just question or thought. It's just that that's the absolute mystery. That's the childhood, childlike wonder as that. But that can't be known. That just can't be known. So nothing as that, but if the nothing could be known, it would be something. So it's nothing full to the brim with the appearance of what I know. I can get this and this lived reality, or it's just nothing talking. But it, you know, it might be said there that, okay, well, I feel like I'm Harvey and I'm, you know, kind of getting the kind of, and whatever might be described. But that all that's heard here is just there's a voice saying that, and that can't be validated or, you know, it's just, it doesn't, I don't see that. So nothing gets in the way of anything. There's just simply what is, just what's appearing to happen. And saying it's unknowable or this is unknowing or whatever, it's not something, you can't hang your hat on any of those. We've agreed almost, you know, what all those mean, but there's no explanation. It's just that somehow the words are lived in as the real. So then real is real, even unreal is a thing. No words, there's no, knowing isn't anything at all. Unknowing is not something to be known. So nothing gets in the way. There's just like, there is just what is. So then the problem with talking, it appears like, okay, well, then he must know something, or there must be something that he's talking about. And no, it's just somehow without, this isn't even a meeting. There's just sort of, you know, we can put words and say there's a meeting and it's about X and Y, but that's all a story. It's immediately just this, but that can't be known as that. It's the hearing of, it's immediately just this, and then whatever thoughts, feelings in the body, but hold on now, or whatever is being felt and wondered. You can't do yourself. It's been done. Or it's just what is.
It's almost like a, I don't know, it's like a full stop to what is. It's just what is.
Yeah, well, you could say there isn't a what is, there isn't a thing. I'm not walking around going, well, this is what is then. It's actually as the hearing of this is what is. It's not pointing to, or it's as that. So this is then a total mystery that there's apparently what we're calling talking happening. So then forgetting all that, you can say there's just what is, or this isness, or you can say this is nothing. Because not one word will get close. And that doesn't make it, you know, awkward or special or kind of requiring unique knowledge. It's the mystery is immediately as whatever is flooding the senses. And so you see, with all these words here coming out of this bloody mouth, it seems like there's a description of something happening. And in actual fact, there's nothing being described, or this is just blah, 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 blah. Replace it with all of that, and it won't get closer or further away. It's totally and utterly unknowable, and nothing gets in the way of that. But it's knowings then. So this is then emptiness full to the brim with knowings, apparently, or just emptiness sounding and nothing is being described. And it's not, it's just there, sitting on the chair, breathing, feeling, wondering, am I missing something, Frank? Or whatever. No, it's as, am I missing something?
Thanks. I sort of noticed how my mind is sort of trying to grasp or trying to understand it, but sort of.
But that's just minding, you could say. That's in a way, that's just knowing. It's kind of, that's the kind of two realities. One lives in knowing, understanding, getting to the bottom of. In other words, that this must be able to be known. It has to be able to be known. But yet, that attempt there that you just described with the mind, trying to be the mind and understand all that, you couldn't do that if you read a gazillion books. But it seems to be what is happening and what is being described. You couldn't do Harvey or what Harveying if you read a gazillion trillion books. It'd be a pale imitation. But Harveying is what's happening. It's just that, including everything, every lock, stock, smoke and barrel, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, everything, everything, everything. Smothering as you. There isn't room for you, but there's room for apparent thoughts. That's what appears to happen. Thoughts. I mean, and that's just how it is then. That's what's being described. That's what's felt. But that can't be validated. There's no one here. And there's no one already in there. So,
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I disagree, says Dario. That's beautiful. Wonderfully, there's nothing to agree upon. There's no meeting. There's no relating. There's no games. So totally, if that's what's felt, then that's what's felt. Amazing. You can't do that or not do that. That's just what is. Apparently, yeah, there is disagreeing, yeah, and apparently agreeing, but there's absolutely nothing to agree upon. Then it would be something. Then it would be something that could be bound and grasped and held, and we could agree upon it. Is it that it's not happening because it's not known? So nothing is known, and you can say it's not happening, or you can say this is the happening, but either one word won't get closer or further away to what is, because it can't be seen. It's not apart from anything. There's nothing apart. So it's as descriptions appearing. It's immediately as this. And it's nothing to do with knowings and unknowing isn't a thing to have. So no no word will get close at all to the suddenness and immediacy of just simply this like. Somehow this is known, and known as whatever description, whatever is felt, it's known to be that. And yet that can be, that knowing, that tightly held feeling of what this is, what it could be, should be, or whatever, seems to lead to dissatisfaction. And then as a result of that, seeking to know, or to understand, or to fill this gap. Without the story, there's nothing happening.
Hi, Frank.
Hiya.
Yeah, I was just asking that question. It's also like you just said, it's known. But is it that the me is known, but there's no label of knowing on it? Like me tries to put a label of knowing on it. It's like what's happening right now is.
Yeah,
like
in a way, it's
that's what's
somehow to
happening.
make it knowable and make it safe. Somehow then sitting on a chair and breathing is a sort of it's kind of, which I know it's kind of safe because it can appear to be known as that. Yet then, and even like saying it's unknowable, well, that can be, well, I wouldn't mind knowing what unknowable is like. What's that? Well, it's not anything at all. So what can be said? But yet it's immediately as what can be said. This is it's a kind of you can use any words you want, and then that sets the mind off down rabbit holes. So minimal words, you could say, appear to be being used, and nothing, even nothing, is objectified. Of course it's objectified because it's that which likes to know and understand, label and box off, doesn't like nothing too much, but it's sort of a whatever. But nothing is utterly, completely, totally unimaginable. And yet this is nothing as hearing. That's, you could say, and already that's a kind of a story, but it seems to be that if you were to describe what seems to happen here, it's a constant return to this immediacy, to this suddenness, to this izziness, this inexplicable, where inexplicable is inexplicable. So there isn't a me. There's that, the whatever going on, the thoughts, the mouth opening, the dryness in the mouth, that is that's emptiness as that. And it won't ever be caught or held on to or known, because it's as the hearing, it's as whatever thoughts appear, it's as the feelings, it's as everything. And it's totally ordinary. It appears like it is a description then, and of course when there's something there, then they can only see real things there, so then it seems like a description is being given, but this isn't even a description. It's maybe you could say it's the squeal. It's of unknowability, of just no clue.
But they get the habit of trying, even though like it's very clear when you speak about it, or when you're listening. But the habitual something or conditioning, whatever, it can always wants to objectify it. It kind of catches all the time, it doesn't stop trying to objectify it, like
doesn't stop trying to get it and know it, but cannot go
cannot.
near or touch the attempt, that singular movement, that full movement to want to know. It can't touch that because it's everything fully as that. So the thoughts can't get close to their attempt to get close, to understand. It can't get close to your attempt to understand. It's just what's happening. And what can be said about that then? Oh. What can be said about the hearing of what can be said and whatever thoughts unfold? It seems like, oh, well, I'm doing the reactions, but you couldn't do a reaction if you were the greatest scientist on earth, let's just say. It's so totally ordinary, naturally flooding the senses, and all that seems to happen then is just thoughts appearing like they can try and they just really want what they want and are running for is it's like just trying to box it off and make it all feel safe. So then it's country, it's location, it's like a navigational system being used as the meaning maker or whatever. It's yeah, it's just got ideas above the station because it's just spontaneously occurring. It's just, well, it's kind of like this or the me. Like it's even like, you know, well, I feel like a me. Well, sure, if that's what you're describing, then that's what's been described and felt. There's no clue here. And so then in a way, what we're used to is some authority of some description able to then go, you know, well, I know and I can help and I can, you know, I can tell you, but there's nothing known here at all.
It like you're saying, it can't, you never can grasp it, or I keep on saying, but the attempt doesn't stop the attempt. Like, of course you can't, it's very like clear. But the attempt somehow.
Yeah, she couldn't do that. That's just what's happening. You couldn't do that. How do you do that?
Yeah, attempt is also.
It's also, it's this.
The emptiness, yeah.
Yeah, it's the emptiness as that. It's
Yeah.
it's full as that. So then, well, so that's just how it is then. Till it's just this then. So then, you know, what can be said or described or felt, what appears to be being described, felt, thought. That's what can be said. But there won't be something once removed to go that will go, all right, now I know there's no self. I'm happy out. Rah, 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 rah. There's no one in there already. So there's no one to know that there is no self. So it's just life is fully, wholly, complete. It's not a life or whatever. This is fully, wholly, complete as it appears to be being. However that is.
Like already what's happening, the attempt, the seeking, the understanding, the everything.
Everything. And then, you know, you can't escape that or not escape that. That's just what appears to be happening.
That's already how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. Every thought, feeling, but everything. So you won't be able to do a reaction and turn around and go, well, what the fuck? Well, that would be the reaction then. Whatever reaction is. I was talking to somebody and they're kind of going, I don't know how I'm going to react to this, whether I'm going to laugh or cry. But that would be the reaction then, though. I don't know how to react to this. That would be the reaction. It's everything. So it would never be known. Never, 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 never be known. Or held onto, or grasped, or bound by any single word or idea or concept, or because it's flooding immediately as whatever is.
Brian, there's
Yeah.
Hiya, mate. There's nothing that's never ever been this. It's impossible to escape this throughout life. You know, I reflect on my life. It's always been this. It's impossible to escape this.
Including any attempt to want to escape this can't be escaped.
And
Says everything. You can't do anything.
No.
You can't do what was said there. You can't grow the hair. You can't make it go bald, that lovely grey hair. Fuck's sake. You can't do a thing. There's just what's appearing to happen. There isn't anyone anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable, and requires no belief.
Yeah.
And what to say? What fucking?
It's sort of too magnificent to have belief. To
Oh yeah.
oh gosh.
We'd be back in the game. How awful that it required, like, you know, belief, another belief system, and going around, and it's just so it's just an unbelievable idea, really. You know, if you think back to the Bibles, where they'd say something like, "Happy are those who believe," and you know, and it's like it's a way, be a good girl and boy now, and no questions. This requires absolutely nothing. It is as everything, though, and the mystery doesn't begin or end, and includes the idea of beliefs, belief systems, as religions, as whatever story is being told. And yet, all the while, this is nothing. Full to the brim with whatever.
And all beliefs have always been this. All stories, all experiences have always been this. When anything happens, it happens. It happens.
We see it does not, amazingly, it does not have even a this or a way for even a moment. It's not like you have to kind of remember or imagine or wonder or kind of hold on. But it obviously includes any kind of attempt to want to hold it or grasp it or keep it. But it's as that too. And it'll be, you know, any thoughts that might be, well, is it? It's as that. That's fuck. It's flooding the senses as everything. Won't ever be held on to. Thankfully, it'll be heavy.
There's no escaping it.
Including a desire perhaps to want to escape it. And you won't be able to escape from a thought about escaping from it. You can't escape from anything. You're not there.
No escape whatsoever.
Yeah. Woohoo or boo-hoo. Who knows?
Laughter, tears, joy, misery. No escape from it. It's just this. Always has been this.
It's immediately as what's being described there. Not what's being described as the words. And it won't be held on to as the sound. Whatever has been felt, thought, would be what is. When I click the end button here, it's what is.
It's what
when the cup of cha or the Love Island is put on. That would be what is.
Yeah, wherever.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all, and have a lovely evening or morning or wherever evening. All right. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks,
Later.
Ray.